Welcome back to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Hope, and each week I bring you step-by-step recipes that you can make in your own kitchen no matter what your experience level. Today, we're making cereal cookies. Now, these cereal cookies are sometimes known as everyday cookies, and they're a light, delicate, crispy cookie filled with brown sugar, pecans, which kind of gives them a pecan sandy or sand tart flavor. They're really very good. They're very small cookies, so they do make a lot. They make about 10 to 12 dozen. You can always half the recipe. Let's get started and I'll show you the ingredients. The ingredients for the cereal cookies are brown sugar, white sugar, all-purpose flour, rolled oats, cream of tartar, baking soda, salt, butter, vanilla, eggs, coconut, pecans, Rice Krispie cereal, and canola oil. Okay, first we're going to cream together the sugars, the oil, and the butter. So 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of butter or 2 sticks, and 1 cup of oil. You can use corn oil, canola oil, any other kind of light, flavorless oil. Okay, we're going to cream these together. You want to keep mixing this very well until the butter is incorporated. Okay, you see it's well blended and there's no more chunks of butter in there. I'm going to add my 2 eggs. I'm going to blend it again until well incorporated. Okay, that's well incorporated and the oil is mixed in as well as the eggs. Add a teaspoon of vanilla. Just give it a good whisk. Okay, we'll set that aside for now and mix up our dry ingredients. Okay, I want 3½ cups of flour. This is just all-purpose flour. That's 3. And a half. Need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. We'll whisk that together. Now we're going to mix the dry mixture into the wet mixture. And now we add in our cereal. Rice Krispies, 1 cup. 1 cup of oatmeal. It calls for quick oatmeal. I'm just adding rolled oats. It'll be fine. 1 cup of coconut. If you don't like coconut, you can leave it out. And a ½ cup of chopped pecans. I'll just take a small cookie scoop. You want to drop them onto an ungreased cookie sheet. Now this is about a teaspoon. You don't need to chill the dough, and they're not super sweet. They do have just a hint of sweetness. This seems like a lot of ingredients, but it comes together really quickly. So now we're going to put them into a 350-degree oven. I'm going to switch shelves about halfway through and flip them around just so they bake evenly. Actually, also what you want to do is just pat them down just a little bit. And that just assists in making a nice thin crispy cookie. Okay, I've removed the cookies from the oven. I cooked them for 5 minutes and then I rotated them on the racks and then I cooked them for 6 additional minutes. And you see how they're lightly browned around the edges? That's exactly what you want. So we'll let them cool a little bit and then we'll put them on a cooling rack. I've let these cool for a little bit on the baking sheet and then they come right up. These look delicious. crispy around the edges, a light buttery smell, pecan smell. If you're making cookies for a crowd or going to church or school or work event, this is the recipe to make. Everyone loves them. Now, if you want to bake these up and freeze them, they freeze beautifully. I would just put them in a Tupperware container, an airtight Tupperware container, maybe with parchment paper between the layers to protect them because they are delicate cookies, very good and crunchy. I have not frozen the dough balls to see how they bake up. After freezing, I'm sure they would be good, especially if you just do a small 1 teaspoon ball like that. It won't take long to thaw them out, and then you can just bake them up normally. And what makes them so crispy is the butter and the oil in there. Perfect for, take a couple at a time, a small treat with coffee or tea. Really good. Okay, these are the cookies after they've sat out of the oven for a little bit and cooled off before I put them on the rack, and they are just perfect. You can see the pecans through there. Little cereal, and again, the only cereal in here are Rice Krispies and rolled oats. But look how thin and crispy. They're just the right amount of sweet to have with coffee or tea, just as a little snack. Let's do a taste test. I'm just going to pull one of these off of the rack here. They came out just like I wanted them to. Crispy around the edges, beautiful crunch. So buttery, but so light as well. I looked on the internet for similar recipes and I didn't see very much out there like this. You see things like cereal cookies, even oatmeal cookies. I kept doing a search and they would give me oatmeal cookies. That's not what I wanted. And I did find something that said cereal drop cookies that was very similar to this. But this is just the best cookie. I really hope you try it. Thank you so much for joining me again here on Hope's Homemade Kitchen as we made cereal cookies. I hope you liked what you saw today, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that bell for more videos and share with your friends. We'll see you next time.